Hey guys, Jack and Elijah here. We're trying to make some quality content for you guys to watch when you're bored. Today's guest is Aaron Snyder. Hey Aaron, what's up?
Hi.
All right, so start off the interview. Okay, so you're very active, right? So what are your top three injuries, and kind of tell a story around them?
Um, do the two injuries to my arm that were like kind of the same thing count?
I mean, they're two different stories, right? So I think that would probably
Alright,
count.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so most recent severe one would be um when I broke my arm. So I was practicing parkour like I usually do, especially in the past. And I jumped off of around 13 feet onto the concrete, which is not like a ridiculous height, but I guess I didn't warm up properly or I just had a bad landing. Um, so when I landed for the shoulder roll, I put too much stress on my upper body, on my arms, and it caused my tricep to rip my bone apart called the olecranon. So yeah, I had an avulsion fracture. Then I had to get surgery. They put in a titanium plate. Um, then this is a kind of stupid part. Um, I went hiking like 2 or 3 weeks after surgery. And I was out of the cast and everything. I could move my arm around. I had some range of motion. I was going hiking with the Matlaws, and running around and whatever. And then the one time that I wasn't running around, I was walking. I tripped over something and smashed my arm. That was just after surgery into a rock. So I rebroke it and caused more damage.
Uh,
Um, yeah, so those are kind of two injuries. Um, I could
so
also yeah, just
I'll just tell my story involved with. Okay, so I was with you when you broke your arm the first time. It was me and Levy. We were walking around Bishop's Corner, and there's this place where it's kind of like a loading dock for trucks, and it's like this. There's this ledge with like a sort of like a 3 foot wooden wall, right? So Aaron goes, yeah, I should try jumping it, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, that would be pretty cool, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would have said anything, then you would have not done it, but you did it, right? And then it kind of looked a bit rough, the landing, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so you were like holding your arm, right? And then you're like, oh, I think something's moving.
yeah, I showed you. I turned around and I flexed my tricep, and there was a little piece moving up and down.
Yeah. So then, like you were like you didn't like cry. You were just like wincing there, like. "Ah." And we had to go to my house, and we tried to come up from my dad, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he just bumped his arm. He needs a little like ibuprofen, you know." And yeah, you were you didn't get a sling till you know a while, and not I mean like a day, right?
I think it
Oh
was
yeah,
Simchat Torah also.
it was Simchat's Torah. So when he came to show that night, and I wasn't with you guys, but I was there, and then I just see Aaron come and like this like sling made out of rags and stuff. I'm like, what happened, man? And like you and Jack told me the whole story, and I'm like, what happened? It was yeah,
But at
it's
this
kind of
point, I
chaotic.
don't regret it at all. Um,
Yeah, because you got your left arm like really strong, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but also I've learned a lot, and it was kind of like a test. I think without that injury, I wouldn't be as serious as I am now about fitness, health, and I wouldn't be as appreciative also.
Hmm.
Obviously, it's not good to be breaking your arm, so people shouldn't go breaking their arms to learn. Um, but it already happened, and I'm 100% recovered, so can't complain. Um, there's another injury. Um, this one's more of like a long-term injury. I have like problems with my knees. Um, I think it's just I think it's just overuse. I've always been extremely aggressive and competitive whenever I play sports, and I guess that puts a lot of strain on my knees. That's what I think. Um, yeah, so it's like on the patella, quadriceps tendon, that area. Um, when I don't know, go downstairs or whatever. I've had that since like fifth grade, but I've realized now that if you strengthen the muscles around your knee, it can help a lot. So when I was younger, I never did strengthening like disciplined workouts for my lower body. I was just run around and be crazy. But
Mhm.
now I've started doing lower body workouts, and it's helped a lot with my resilience to injury. Yeah, so I guess that would be a main one because that's always bothered me since like 5th grade.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that
Not
3?
washing slaughters, so.
That's not a real thing.
Yeah,
No,
it is.
it is.
I'm joking. I'm joking. It's a real thing.
Yeah. So, Aaron, can you give us a walkthrough of your plans for after high school?
Yeah. So after high school, like after I graduate, I'm gonna get congratulated by my friends and family. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. I'm gonna get something to eat. Okay, that's all that's gonna
Uh-huh.
matter in that moment. I'm gonna get something to eat.
His present for his graduation is going to be an extra pack of protein bars.
No, but so for real. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna graduate, enjoy my summer, and hopefully soon after the summer ends, I'll be joining the Marines.
Mhm.
That's the close future plan. And then I have other interests, probably college, maybe physical therapy, as a career. But that's really far in the future. Who knows how it'll change after being in the Marines?
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So, okay. So, why not the IDF?
Why the IDF?
Why? So, explain why the Marines.
Okay. So I grew up here. I've grown up in this amazing country that we all benefit from and that most of us take for granted. Um, yeah, like there's so many there we have rights here. The whole idea is power to the people, like government for the people, by the people. It's an amazing thing. Yeah, strongest democracy. We fight terrorism. We help other countries, other democracies. Um, that's why. And I grew up here. Like
Mhm.
I love Israel, and they're a great country. And I'm Jewish, and it's a Jewish homeland. And I really was considering going to the IDF, like seriously considering it. But that was before I started to actually appreciate the country I live in now, which so many people fail to do. Um, we go to Jewish schools. I've never been taught to appreciate this country in my Jewish schools. It's always about loving Israel, and that's great. You should love Israel. We're Jewish. We should definitely like think about serving there, but we shouldn't forget that this country is protecting our rights to religion, freedom of speech, right to bear arms. Amazing things. We go to Jewish school. This country protects the right to have a Jewish school that can teach you to love a different country and not this one. This country protects that, which is amazing. That's why.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah, because your brother is in the Israeli army, so it'd be really cool if you're both like in high units that you have like a mission together. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be like a dream.
Has he
Yeah.
influenced you in what you want to potentially do in the Marines based on what he does in the IDF?
Um, a little. I mean, I don't know. Like he's told me about his job and like suggested that I look into it. He's not trying to influence which job I choose, but he's definitely had a large influence on me as a person, joining the army, being active. I give him a lot of credit for that, which I didn't used to, but now I see it way more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so we all do calisthenics. So I want you to explain why calisthenics might be better than weights.
More
Uh,
effective.
it's not better than weights.
Oh.
It depends what you're going for. You guys seem to enjoy calisthenics more. I definitely enjoy it more, but it's not better, and I don't think weights are better. It's a matter of your goals. If you're looking for if you have a gym member, if you have money to spend or you have all the equipment, and you just want the simplest way the simplest road to progressive overload, it's as simple as putting more weights on the bar. That's extremely effective. You'll get strong, fast. There's not that much. It's not that complicated. And for me, that's just a little boring. But you can get really strong. You can get big. You can get athletic using weights. With calisthenics, progressive overload comes from changing the angle, the leverage, or adding weight to the calisthenics, which I personally like to do. It's like kind of like a combination. You just add weight to the body weight movements you already do. So in my opinion, calisthenics you use more muscles at the same time. And you learn how to control your own body weight. Someone who does weights will not be able to do handstands and planche.
Okay, so
they could build they could have the strength, but they won't have the coordination. Someone who does calisthenics and gets really strong in calisthenics can do weights because weights are simpler, but it is easier to get stronger by doing weights. Like in the long run, the strongest people, the power lifters, they're doing weights, not doing calisthenics to deadlift 500 kilograms. But you can, I don't know, it's more functional in my opinion.
Yeah. So it's kind of like two different languages, because when I hear someone saying, oh yeah, I can bench this amount, I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. And versus when I say, oh, I can do like an advanced tuck planche, and everyone's like, what is that?
That's also a skill.
Yeah.
Within calisthenics. Also, the most efficient way to get strong is definitely not by doing planche and front levers. If you want in calisthenics, the best way to get strong is to master the basics: push-ups, dips, pull-ups, squats, pistol squats, and then add weight, just like you would add weight in the gym to the bar. It's a very simple way of progressive overload that most people can do.
So you're saying calisthenics is more functional, like in everyday life, as opposed to being a powerlifter?
I'm not saying in everyday life. It's just, I don't know. So
sports.
Are you more mobile?
It depends on your goals, like 100%. Like if you're doing handstands or you're doing like a lot of stuff that depend on your ability to control your body in space, calisthenics is by far the way to go. But if you're going for just simple functional strength, weights are also a great way to go. Bench press, deadlift is an extremely good exercise that calisthenics doesn't have because you need weights. Squats, those are the most functional exercises, squats and deadlifts in my opinion. And pull-ups. But for example, when you do a bench press, your core is not really engaged. But when you do a push-up, your core is engaged. But when you do a bench press, it's much harder than doing a push-up because you add much more weight. But you can also add weight to the push-up. But also in the long run, the strength required to keep your core in one position while doing a push-up is so small. Just nowadays, apparently that's really hard for people. So you can make them almost the same if you want to. I don't know. I could talk about this forever.
Yeah.
So, are there any more differences between calisthenics and weights?
Yeah. So one thing I forgot to mention is with weights, it is so much easier to isolate a muscle, which is particularly why people will use weights when they're trying to get bigger biceps or bigger triceps. Also, from experience with injuries, weights are extremely good because sometimes you need to target a very specific muscle. Weights are the easiest way to do that. When you do calisthenics, it's almost impossible to isolate a muscle because your core is working to keep you in a straight line, your triceps, your shoulders, everything works at the same time. With weights, you can isolate, which is extremely beneficial.
So, but it's also beneficial the other way also, right? Like if you're doing calisthenics.
Exactly. That's why I don't think one is better than the other. It's a matter of your goals.
Yep. That makes sense.
So we are going to pull up a picture. There's two pictures, okay? And I want you to tell a story around the picture. So, can you tell a story around this picture?
Okay. We were just walking around and we were bored.
It's late at night. What was it, Saturday night or Friday night or something? Saturday night.
Yeah, like we go on walks.
Yep.
It's fun. I don't know. We're bored and we wanted to see if we could carry two people at the same time on our back. Jack did it. I did it. Elijah did it. Nachum did it, I think.
Yeah. I don't remember.
In this picture, he's the one taking the picture.
Yeah.
So we were trying this for like an hour or so. Keep on jumping on each other's backs. It's really fun, honestly.
Yeah. I honestly wonder what the people across the street from the other houses thought if they all saw.
Probably.
But yeah.
All right, next picture.
Okay. The flash over there.
Oh my god. Okay, so this was wow, I got no beard. So weird. Um this was in Nachum's kitchen. I don't know. It was something that looked fun in the moment to take a broom and try to balance it. Um
How long did it take?
what?
How long did it take?
I don't know, like a few tries. I've done it before. When I was younger, I used to do that in my kitchen with the broom. I know it probably sounds retarded, but I don't know. When you're not playing video games 24/7, you find other ways to have fun.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but who knows? That picture could be completely fake. It could have just been standing for a millisecond. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, but
See,
it was
that's why his hand was moving so fast. Like,
Yeah.
you see, it was the flash over there. Okay.
But no, guys, you could actually do that. It's not a fake picture.
No,
All of
yeah,
you right
we
now
know.
could spend 20 minutes trying to balance a broom. It is the most rewarding experience.
Very accomplishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we have more questions. Okay, so as a society, do you think we are getting weaker?
Yeah, kind of.
All
Can you elaborate on that?
right. I mean, I'll elaborate a bit. So like, I know we were like younger, like 5th grade, right, 4th grade. We would play kickball.
Oh my god.
We would just so we would hit it out of the base the what is it called, the baseline.
I'll go right over first base, go right into the woods, and then you got a home run into the best.
Hit it like pretty far, right?
Yeah.
And then you see kids.
People are same age when
Yeah.
people who are in the same grade as us, like nowadays, and they can't do that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Like
it's
they
not look, and some of us might be more naturally athletic because we are more naturally
Genetics,
athletic.
active, whatever.
But even when even when I was like much younger, it's not like only I was able to do that. There were other people in my class that were able to do that type of thing. People younger than me they were just overall more aggressive, more athletic. They could kick a soccer ball, they could run. Okay, now when I see people who are in 4th grade trying to run, I think they're like in 1st grade. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
It's probably a mixture of that, and also because you're a lot older than you were when you were there.
Yeah, but I try my best to correct for that easy
Misconception. Yeah.
yeah, because
also
I do occasionally see an athletic kid who's in like 4th grade, and that's how it's supposed to be. And they don't train or anything. It's just they're athletic.
Natural.
They go outside and they do stuff and they try.
Yeah. But there's also like there was never a time that none of us, or at least I can remember, like when we were like 9 or 10 or even like we always could do like 3 or 4 pull-ups or whatever we could do. We were always just like mess around and stuff. But now it's just like no one can do anything.
Yeah.
Like if you look at those grades or like when we were 9 or 10, like there's no one that can kind of do that. At least
Yeah.
that we.
But it's not entirely their fault. In fact, it's barely their fault. I'm not gonna throw around blame.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, definitely.
But
Genetics
they can
just
still. It's not over. They could totally get like ridiculously strong. You don't have to start. It's obviously better to start when you're younger. But even if you can't do a pull up, you can always learn. You can always get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
was talking to my friend that goes to public school, and he said that when they were doing the mile run, they would tell people to slow down because they didn't want the fast kids to lap other people. And I just think that's kind of limiting people's abilities.
That's not giving them their full potential. I don't think that's right.
That is very sad to hear.
I was actually talking to Aaron, I think Friday night or whatever, when we usually go on our late night walks, and he was talking about like I'm like obviously you want like a perfect score on your Marine test, but like on the running section, let's say you need to get like a 7-minute mile just to get the perfect score, whatever. And I know, and you know, and everyone knows that Aaron can get a 7-minute mile, but it's just like Aaron's not going to purposely get like a 6:59 mile just because that's what he's required to do. He's going to try to push himself and try to get as close to whatever he like push himself to get. Like if he gets a 5:30 mile, then he gets a 5:30 mile, or he gets whatever like he can. Like he's trying to work to his full potential, I guess.
By the way, the test does not require you to run a mile. It requires you to run either a mile and a half or 3 miles. There's 2 different tests.
Okay, whatever it was.
Example.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to think that it's hard for me to run a 7-minute mile.
I literally specifically said that we all know that you could run definitely a 7-minute mile. But yeah. But like I also like it's also like extreme. Like in America, like I see people that are really fit or that can really do stuff, whether it's in like summer camp or people who really can do stuff and people who really can't. So it's like
Yeah.
a balance between
So
each.
we're mostly exposed to
Northerners.
our Jewish community.
Yeah,
Okay?
that too.
It's mostly like when I went to summer place, there were people who were way more athletic. They were there were competition, which is
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, it was nice to have that. Like, wow, like these are people that can also do stuff, and not just like always be in like your own little bubble and see people that can't do anything or not very much. But
That's why HH&E needs a gym class.
Mr. W, it's a shout out.
I think there should be more calisthenics parks. We're really like
100%. I've
Yeah.
looked online for calisthenics parks. I didn't find them.
Yep.
Now playgrounds are this like
Aiken's pretty good.
what?
Aiken's pretty good.
It's okay, but like
No, of course.
YouTube videos of people doing calisthenics, and they're at these cool parks. So they have dip bars, pull-up bars, monkey bars, simple stuff, and it's great. If those were more common, people would
Sure.
totally be in better condition.
Yeah, I also think it's possible because of where we live, like West Hartford, Connecticut, as opposed to like obviously Miami Beach and Muscle Beach and stuff like that, and whatever they have there.
Also, it's free. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't
definitely. You just walk in.
It doesn't cost money to do calisthenics. So it's like a great incentive for people to get in better condition because they don't have to pay an expensive gym membership.
Yeah, it's good encouragement because like if they want to practice on something and they don't need like a gym or a trainer or something, and they just saw something even on a YouTube video, they're just like, oh wow, that guy can do a handstand. Let me try a handstand. Or this guy is doing a handstand on 2 bars, so let me try it also. Like, why not?
Mhm.
At our high school, you started a fitness club for people that are just interested in getting in better shape or have specific goals that they want to reach, and you've like volunteered to be like a trainer or like just to help them out in any way. So how's that been like progressing with like the few participants that you have, and like have they been progressing, and do they
Very
care
well.
more?
Very well. They're taking it seriously. They started off from different levels and they're progressing. They're working hard. It's just they're working.
If
they're
you
getting
can't do a push-up, if you cannot do a push-up, what would you do to start doing fitness?
So if your goal is to get stronger and to get to a push-up, is that what you're asking?
If you're just trying to get stronger, but you can't even do a push-up, you're not at that level yet. What is the level before that?
So there are multiple ways to progress to a push-up. Let's say you're like super far from the push-up. What you can do is you can practice holding a push-up position. You can try to do push-ups on a surface that is elevated, right? When you do a push-up, this is how your body is angled, mostly horizontal. The gravity is the strongest here, but as you go more vertical, more weight is going to be on your feet and less is going to be on your hands. So it's a lot less resistance. So you can play around with that angle and find ways to make the push-up easier or harder until eventually you're doing it like that.
Gradually get there, yeah.
That's like that's the simplest way.
How does diet play into your performance in the
Diet is
like
everything.
in your training?
Everything. If you have a bad diet, there's no matter how hard you train, there is nothing you can't out-train a bad diet. If you want to get stronger, bigger, you need more protein. You need protein. If you're trying to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. No matter what you do, if you want to lose weight, calorie deficit. What?
Can you explain what a calorie deficit is? I
Yeah.
understand, but just for other people.
Yeah, of course. So calorie deficit means you burn more calories than you absorb. And a calorie surplus means you absorb more calories than you burn. So over time, you would start to gain weight, or over time, you would start to lose weight. And the way you do that is by eating less calories or eating more calories. And you can also influence that by doing cardio. That's like the best way.
And it's all about consistency, right? So if you eat like crap, like a lot of crap one day versus if you eat healthy like consistently versus you eat like a less healthy diet like every day, rather than just like in one day? Isn't it better to like have consistency?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because you don't want your fitness to just be going on for 2 weeks and then you give up because it's too hard. So you need to compromise with yourself. You need to find something that you can do for a long period of time. Yeah, eating shouldn't be miserable. You have to find a way to enjoy it while eating healthy and still achieving the goals that you want. It has to be a long-term solution.
All right, so going into your calisthenics career, as we as we're gonna say, what is your favorite move, or like you do flips as well? So what's your favorite flip and what's your favorite calisthenics exercise?
Okay, so the only flip I can do pretty well is the front flip. So I'm gonna say that's my favorite flip. But I do parkour too, so parkour is much better than flips for me. I enjoy it more. But for calisthenics,
Or what's your hardest calisthenics exercise?
I mean, you can make it harder or easier just by adding weight. But for we'll talk about skills. Like front levers, handstands, planche, muscle ups. So the hardest for me, or the one I'm going for the most, is planche. Right now I can do straddle planche pretty well. Yeah, that's my favorite. It feels like you're flying. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But the most important is probably the handstand.
Yep. Can you tell us a little bit about jiu-jitsu and how that would potentially play a role in the Marines?
Sure. So, in the Marines, in the entire U.S. military, they teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to all their soldiers because of how effective it is. Yeah. So, if I know some of it now, I'll get a little bit of a head start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Marines like to grapple a lot with each other. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I'll hopefully be on the top.
Yeah, so you just have a little more of an advantage.
Metaphorically.
All right. Thanks so much, Aaron, for your enlightening talks about fitness and Marines, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Touching.
Thank you.
Okay, see you guys.